Afternoon, everybody, and good morning in some places. Welcome to another edition of Headlights Live. Today, we're going to talk about the Sales and Marketing Workbook. We're going to give you highlights, and we're going to dive into a few of the sections. And this is our fourth edition of our Sales and Marketing Workbook. It's our second online, and Jaymie, our Director of Marketing, and Madi Williams, our communication specialist, is actually going to go through all of this with you back and forth. But before we do any of that, we've been talking about silver certification, and we've been talking about adult market and all of that. If you want to get started in all of that, the first thing you need to do is to email training@wvlcorp.com to get started. So the other thing that I want to talk to you about is feedback. Because I was at an agency a couple of weeks ago, and the young lady said to me, she says, "Paul, we have feedback." And I said, "Funny you should say that." Your feedback, and I'll tell you where to send them to. However, 51558-0801. If you dial that number, you can share your feedback. And the good thing is we have a couple of questions on when you dial in. And this one is, what are your goals for 2024? So I'm saying that our email or our voicemail should be overflowing because everyone has that, goals for 2024. So the other thing I want to talk to you about is networking through video. This is a great opportunity for our agents to promote themselves. All you have to do is make a little video, maybe no more than a minute and a half, no cursing, none of that. And just talk about your agency, where you're located, something special that you do, and email it to Wheaton marketing@wvlcorp.com. Text it to 3175. We have a couple of new agents, Mary Hill of Hills Van and Service in Ocala, Florida, and Lauren Harrelson of Sand Hills Moving and Storage in Southern Pines, North Carolina. So take it away, videos.
Hi, my name is Mary Hall. My husband JD and I are proud owners of Hills Van Service. We're family owned and operated. My grandfather started our business back in 1951. We're located in Ocala, Florida, which is about 30 minutes south of Gainesville and about 30 minutes north of the Villages. We are a full service moving business, and all of our employees are silver certified. We'd love to handle any of your OA and DA work. We do a lot of commercial work for hotels, hospitals, and assisted living. And again, if we can help you out with anything, please don't hesitate to call on us. And we are so proud to be part of the Wheaton family.
Hi, this is Lauren with Sand Hills Moving and Storage, new agent 1505. We are located in Southern Pines, North Carolina, but we do service all of North Carolina from the mountains to the coast. Give us a call. We are happy to be your OA or your DA. We have plenty of warehouse space.
Great, excellent. So see how easy that was? One thing I'll say to you, all the new agents on this call, if we have any on this call, videos will get priority. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that. If you get your videos in, this is a great opportunity for you to spread your information to the agency family. So everyone in this organization, in our network, has some sort of contribution or responsibility. One of the things that we do have is our Drivers of the Month award. Drivers are the backbone of what we do. They are the face of the organization. They're what customers see. So each month, and let me back up a little bit. 2024, before that we had about 4 brands. Now we're only going to acknowledge Agents of the Month for Wheaton and Bekins brand. So the Driver of the Month for January for Bekins is Daniel Wade. Daniel drives out Borman Moving and Storage in Woodridge, Illinois. Richard Sinonis of Willie's Transfer in West Palm Beach. And this is his 13th Driver of the Month. And also, Richards was previously Driver of the Year for 1995 and 2013. Wow. So if you get an opportunity, if these gentlemen happen to come into your warehouse, just give them an extra cup of coffee, extra bottle of water, and whether they're vets or not, say thank you for your service. Okay, so now the other that we have each month, we do the Agent of the Month. Agent of the Month for both brands. Same situation. We're only going to honor one for each brand, Wheaton and Bekins. So for Bekins, the Agent of the Month for January 2024 is AMP out of Nevada, California. They were started in 1990 by Dale Amon, and now the company is family operated completely with Dale, his son Darren, and Darcy, his daughter. And they have won Agent of the Month 7 times. Wow. And they were also Bekins Agent of the Year in 2014. And for Wheaton Agent of the Month for January, Safeway Moving and Storage out of Foothill Ranch, California. Family operated again. Mike Marquez is the owner, starting in 2007, I should say, with his brother Roy, his daughter Renee, and his son Michael Jr. Mike's been in the business for quite some time. And this is their first Agent of the Month. So kudos to them. If you get an opportunity, reach out to these folks, say congrats, because they may be reaching out to you next time. So, as I was saying earlier, Sales and Marketing Workbook. Madi and Jaymie has put a lot of time into this. They were the quarterback in putting this thing together. We introduced it at Sales Training Summit and Awards a few weeks ago. So you lucky folks are going to be the second group of folks that's going to see this. So Jaymie, Madi, take it away.
All right, so while I pulled the actual workbook up, I'm going to ask everybody to come into this poll and answer a couple of questions here. All right, thank you for that. You can keep on answering those questions and we'll go ahead and get started. So you can see on your screen, hopefully, our 2024 edition of the Sales and Marketing Workbook. And I want to follow Paul and say kudos to Madi, because she was our person who chased everybody down and made sure that everything got turned in on time, and also designed the whole thing, which looks really good. So great job, Madi. To start off, we have a little bit of an introduction that's going to kind of talk about our goals for the year. Overarchingly, what headquarters wants to do from the sales and marketing department is to give you agents the tools that you need to be successful, to attract all the leads that you can, no matter what. And a big part of that this year, because the industry has been down, of course, with the housing market, is going to be increasing your market share. So of those moves that are happening in your area, getting more of a larger piece of the pie than you have in the past. We did a poll of agencies over the summer, and we had over 100 agents respond, which was fantastic. And part of that survey was asking about what you do for marketing. So what initiatives you undertake, what kind of budget you use for marketing. It also went into several other areas, sales and drivers and operations too. But we have a little bit of a write-up in here about what that is, and we give some suggestions too on your budget for your marketing. So that's a good thing to come through after you have downloaded it. I'm going to go ahead and end that poll. All right. So you can see once you have the workbook downloaded, we have a super easy to use table of contents. All you have to do is click on the topic that you're interested in. It's going to take you straight there. And then you can always use the arrows on the side to navigate right back. We're going to start out with competitive advantages. This is our first hands-on section in the workbook. And the phrase isn't that hard to understand, right? What is the advantage that you have over your competition? So this hands-on portion is a worksheet that you're going to sit down and think with other members of your team. You're going to list out for yourself, what do you do differently than competitors in your area? Maybe it's your strengths and weaknesses, but also maybe it's services that you provide that other people don't provide. Once you've decided some of those things, you've laid them all out for yourself, that will really help you decide what your brand messages are going to be. You know, maybe you realize that you have a service that nobody else has. Maybe you have the silver certification from Wheaton and nobody else in your area specializes in moving older adults. Well, that's going to be a great brand message for you to use in encouraging people to use your agency rather than a competitor's.
All right, moving on to Net Promoter Score. This is another interactive section. Net Promoter Score measures customer loyalty by looking at the likelihood of customers recommending your business. So these scores are important to help you gauge satisfaction and also compare performance year over year. We have the 3 different groups there. We have our promoters, who are those who are going to return and they sing your praises. We have the passives, who are somewhere in the middle. And then we have the detractors, who are those people who are not happy and more likely to leave kind of a bad image for your brand. So to help you track your NPS trends, we've included a couple of worksheets where you can identify actions to turn some of these passives into promoters. And I wanted to ask our RSDs to throw out a couple ideas for agents that they could use while filling out these worksheets.
So
Let's start with Roger. Paul's got a little bit
I'll start,
of.
and I'll ask April and Roger to jump in. One thing you can do to move your detractors to a passive is if there's a terrible negative social media post or something like that, you might want to respond to it in a pretty detailed way. And another method to go from passive to promoters, let's just say you've dealt with that customer and they mention a specific family event. Maybe at delivery, you can follow up. Maybe my grandmother's going to get a new hip or something. You can follow up and say, hey, how was grandma's hip or something like that. So April, Roger, maybe you guys can add something else to that.
I just like to say prevention's the best cure. Find out what's going on with your customer. Are your team calling your customers after delivery day? Finding out what's going on. Often there's a small issue that you can resolve immediately that will keep them in the promoter side, and they'll have great appreciation for it.
Thank you.
Perfect. I think April has a little bit of an unstable connection.
Yeah, my suggestion kind of goes with what. Oh, you can't hear me? Sorry, guys.
We can now. Sorry, go
Can you
ahead.
hear me now? Okay. My suggestion kind of goes back to what Paul originally said. So if you have somebody that is putting a negative review on your social media, respond to that immediately, but also take that conversation offline. And if you're going to tell somebody somebody has a negative review on their
Okay, let's go ahead and move on. Sorry, April, you're a little bit a bit shaky there. All right, so next we're going to move on to sales goals. And this was a huge focus at Sales Training Summit at the end of last month. Our keynote speaker talked a lot about creating goals. He specifically talked about who to target. So wanting to have more of your customers be a certain profile, and whether that is where they live, how they found you, what lead source it was, or even the services that they're using of yours. Because the RSDs recommend that you use a variety of goals to help get to that overarching goal of a higher line haul. You could focus on improvements, like if you had a number of moves that were at a 30% or higher discount, maybe your goal for this next year is to lower the number of times that you use that large discount. A lot of different things that you can use. Maybe it is on, coaching, more holding your team accountable for certain things, but you're not going to be able to reach a goal unless you set it. So that's kind of the plan here. And this section walks you through how to measure that success. So in improvements, in networking even, and then in management. And then we also have just a little bit of a benchmark here of, the awards. What we're showing you what we're giving away at the gala next week is going to be our group hauling, our group sales, some of the other awards there. So maybe your goal is to move up a level from one year to the next. We have a couple of resources in here I'm not going to go through, but that's a great thing to come through when you're in the workbook.
This next section focuses on national accounts and OTBAs. As we know, there is a ton of upside in holding a national account, especially in helping you throughout the off-peak season. However, we also know that securing a national account can be challenging, and there are certain criteria that need to be in place before you even consider bringing a national account on. We lay some of those things out for you in this section. We also have some insight from 3 of our top national accounts people in the van line, and they gave background into how they're running their show. So I would encourage you to read through their insight there. And then I'm not going to read through the tariff exception. If you have questions on that, please reach out to your RSD.
Perfect. So next, we have had a ton of our agents over the last 2 years, either coming into the network brand new or converting from a different brand, from Arpin or Stevens. And so we got to thinking as we went through and gave those presentations on the brand that a lot of people that have been part of agencies that have been part of the van line for so long, maybe you're Schultz Brothers and you've been with Bekins for over 100 years. You might not have had an intro to the brand recently. And so you might not know all of the programs and tools that we have available for you. So I want to make sure that you all know that that is something that is here in the workbook. There is a great timeline of historical significance, some milestones for both Wheaton and Bekins. So get to know those. Our brand guidelines are really kind of the brand Bible, most of the questions that you have about where you can use the logo, what you need to have on your website, what needs to go in an ad, all of those things are here in the brand guidelines. Your RSD and Maddie and I are all good resources too. But if you're on the West Coast and you want to reach out to me at 8 o'clock on a Thursday night, I'm not going to get back to you till the morning. So this is a great place to start. We also, a project that we worked on over the last couple of years is a website template. So I know, having worked for marketing companies where we built websites, that it is a really resource intensive project. It takes a lot of money and a lot of time to build a brand new website. And on top of that, a website is considered old after about 5 years. So it is something that you should continually be looking at. And so we have this template that I wrote all the wording, and I worked with Steve Fecco at BDE Marketing to put together all of the design. This is a tool. So if you want to just reach out to Steve and say, "Hi, I want you to personalize this for me and make it to me," he's happy to do that for you. If you already have a digital marketing company that you work with, or if you want to work with somebody else, you are more than welcome to use these sites. And I should show you the example. You can use these sites as a basis and say, "I want you to build me that." And it's just, a good way to short circuit the whole design process and make it go faster for you. You can see the buttons in here. This whole PDF that you'll download of the workbook is very link intensive. So you can click in this box and it'll take you to the website that you can see online. Same with the brand guidelines that I showed you before. You click on either of the links and it's going to take you to our shared marketing assets folder where you can download everything there. And that's the same as I'm going to scroll through some of the things in a minute that you can get to from our sales and marketing portal. And all of these things are in that shared folder also. Another project website-wise that we worked on was the agent pages. So the old agent pages were a lot of white space, not a lot of photos, not a lot of links. So that was something that we added. And the text up here, a lot of our agents have submitted exactly what wording they want in there. If we haven't gotten a submission from you, then all that is SEO type wording. So you are welcome to fill out the form right here to decide exactly what you want to appear on your agent page. We also have a salesperson page. So there's a form here that you can fill out if you want one of your sales reps, all of your sales reps, anybody that you want to have their own page on the Wheaton website or on the Bekins website. So I encourage you to do that. I mentioned the portal where you can go and download or order any of the stuff, any of the materials that we make available. We have a printing partner simply to make it easier for you. You do not have to use our printing partner. Any of the items of collateral up here that you see, you can also download from the shared folder and print them with whomever you'd like. So these are some examples. Some of the examples on here that you'll see are postcard designs. Again, you're welcome to print those out, order them at the Kinko's down the street if you want. do whatever you'd like there. We just want to make that collateral available to you. One of the things that you'll see in the shared marketing folder is a whole folder of branded photos, another whole folder of branded videos. You are more than welcome to use these in your social media, on your websites, on a sign that you want to have printed and hung in your office or somewhere for a realtor lunch and learn. These are all items that we've created for your use. So make sure that you take some time over the next couple of weeks, click in there and look through what we've got, because I'm sure that there's a place that you could update an old picture to a new one, or even just add a video onto your site or use it in your social. Speaking of social, we do have a couple of tools that you can use, Facebook groups. I won't say a lot about those, but if you're not involved in the Sales and Marketing Wheaton Facebook group, I encourage you to join that. And another thing I don't think a lot of agents know that we do from the marketing side is press releases. So some press releases that I always make available are awards. So we have the Van Line Summit and Awards Gala coming up next week. And along with that, you will be getting if you have earned one of those awards, you'll be getting an email from me with a link where you can go and download the press release template. So let's say that you've won the Spire Quality Award. Well, you can download the template, you can fill in your agency name, your location, those kind of things, and then you can send it to any media contacts in your area. You could send it to vendors that you work with, you could send it to referral sources that you maintain relationships with, whatever you'd like. We also make those templates available for Agents of the Month and for Silver Certified agents. I'm also more than happy to work with agents who are celebrating some sort of anniversary to write a press release for you. I know we had, I think Turner Moving and Storage celebrates its 75th year anniversary with Wheaton in the last couple of months. I think it was 2023. And we've had several others like Schultz Brothers when they celebrated their 100th. So anyway, reach out to me when one of those situations happen and I'm happy to create that for you. We also send a lot of press releases from the van line. So new agents, anytime we have a new agent on board, I send a press release out to their area and to the industry just to get more people talking about your name, clicking on your link, those kind of things. And then some more alongside the awards that we'll do next week. You are all here on Headlights Live, so you are aware of our monthly webinar series. I encourage you to keep attending those. And I've mentioned Gala a couple of times, so I probably don't need to go too much into that. These items I'm going to skip through are mostly for our new agents as they onboard, but this ad co-op log is for all of you. I know that our ad co-op, you all should have gotten an email from me within the last couple of weeks letting you know what your total is for 2024. So if you haven't gotten that, please send me an email and I'll get it to you. Print out this sheet, write that number at the top, and then every month as you are submitting your marketing expenses, please mark that down. That way you won't have to wait for me at the end of the year when you're not sure how much you have left to go. That is just a way for you to stay organized and make sure that you get all your money that you deserve. So I encourage you to print that one out. Reviews are a great tool for recruiting new customers. I saw on Facebook the other day that Cousins USA down in Florida, they make videos and feature their customer reviews in them. Way to go. That's awesome. You know, the more video that you create, the better, because people are really consuming video at a high rate now, higher than they ever have before. And they also trust each other. They trust people more than they trust corporations. So if you can get, you know, that third party, that customer to talk about you and do it in a video, more power to you. That's going to work out really well for you. These are for new agents. All right, go ahead, Maddie.
All right. The agency manual is an important resource for all agents. Hopefully you all are reviewing that often, as there's a ton of information that's relevant for your day-to-day life. So like Jaymie just mentioned, people are watching more videos now than ever before. So it's really a great time to figure out a way to integrate videos into your marketing strategy. This section focuses on how you can make that happen. And also, like Jaymie mentioned, we have a variety of videos made by the van line that are available for you to download. So if you're not quite comfortable creating your own content yet, this is a great way to dip your toes into using video in your marketing. We've also included a worksheet to help you plan out how you can integrate video into your marketing plan. You can track your goals with each piece of content and record your performance afterwards.
Perfect. Now, a target market for us, and I know Mark is planning to talk about the older adult and longevity market next week at Gala. That 50-year-old plus market is where it's at. I tell you what, they don't have to worry about the interest rate. They're not tied to that interest rate to purchase their new home. And so that's the group that we're really encouraging all of our agents to target and go after with their marketing. We have had dozens of agents so far who have completed the silver certification. And if you know that you completed it and your name is not on this list, I am sorry, and kudos to you. We had the most up-to-date list as of, I think, December. And so we're still adding that, and we will make sure that you get the updated copy of that. But this section is mostly to tell you how to use your silver certification in your marketing and to help you plan that out. Like I mentioned earlier with competitive advantage, to my knowledge, there aren't any other van lines who have a certification like this. And so you need to use that to your advantage. Make sure that you are talking with senior move managers, make sure that you're talking with senior living facilities about this certification and what it means. It means that you have trained and you have special certification in working with those clients. So you are going to be able to give them the best customer experience. So some of the things that you'll need to know about that older adult market or about the certification is you'll get, once you've gone through the training, you will get your very own seal to use in your marketing. I know I had an agent just yesterday who emailed me an art proof because she's getting stickers and decals made for her truck with the badge on it because it's really something that sets them apart in their area. So awesome choice there. You'll also, once you've earned that certification, you'll get a one-on-one between you, your RSD, and Todd, where they can really talk out a business plan, a marketing plan, making sure that you're using that certification to the fullest. You'll also get a ton of other marketing collateral. And again, it's just one more way to get your foot in the door with senior living communities and senior move managers. There is, as Todd has really reworked the program over the last probably 6 months to a year, we have instituted a recertification process. So we want to make sure that the agents who have earned this training are always up to date on it. And we have a points log in here that you can keep track of that. Mostly you can talk with Todd about the details or you can read through it in here. But honestly, if you are moving seniors, if you're moving older adults and working with senior move managers, if you do it a couple of times a year, you're going to be set. That's going to earn you your points. So no scary retraining efforts needed there.
So if you're looking to get a handle on your marketing efforts, but you're not quite sure where to start, this is a great section to help you dive in. Starting with level 1, this is taking inventory, knowing what your agency does so you have a full picture of what's going on marketing-wise. Then you'll move on to level 2. And this is all about setting goals based on your findings in level 1. You'll want to focus more on gathering content and creating an editorial calendar here. And lastly is level 3. And this focuses on expanding into the future after you've kind of created a routine and baseline for your marketing efforts. And a big part of that is staying on top of your marketing. Don't forget about it during the good times. It's important to make sure you nurture it always so that when things are slow, you have your bases covered.
Absolutely. So keeping your operations department busy, obviously, is what we as sales and marketing people want to do. And so I want to lead you through just kind of how the van line puts together our marketing efforts. Of course, it all starts from the ad fund, which is based on the previous year's line haul. That kind of gives us the budget as to what we can do in the upcoming year. And our 2 goals for that fund is the same every year: brand recall to make sure people know who we are, and lead generation to get those specific people that our moving consultants can chase down and make sure that we are their top choice. So some of the ways that those leads are going to come in: social media ads, something that we've been doing for both brands; pay-per-click ads. 90% of all search, actually more, but that's a conservative number. 90% of all search happens on Google. And so that's where we're spending our PPC dollars. We also do reach out to previous customers. We know referral business is a large portion of the moves that we do every year. And so anybody that has moved with us since, I believe it's 2013, if they had a good experience with us, we drop their emails in Salesforce, which is the program that we use. And once a month, we'll send them an email so that they remember they moved with either Wheaton or Bekins. There is a form within the email that they can fill out if they have a move coming up. And that way we'll make sure that we win their business for the next move that they have. These are a little bit more detailed about where exactly the leads are coming in. So we don't need to go necessarily over that, but if you're confused about how that works, that's a good page to look at. And of course, we're also driving in leads through kind of the old-fashioned process of networking with groups like Ericsson, like NASM. Todd has taken the lead on that in his new role and has been doing a really good job with that. And then how do you get them? So you don't need to know all of the ins and outs of Access. However, I do want you to use this page to make sure that you have subscribed to leads notifications within Access, because every lead that we get from the website, from the phone, those kind of things, they all go through Access. And if you're getting leads from us and you don't know because you don't have notifications set up, then that's not doing anybody any good. So make sure that you have those set up and that all of the rest of your sales team has them set up too, and that they're going to the right person. We do have a couple of the forms that I mentioned, and a couple of the NASM and Ericsson. Those leads may come in through Todd. And so either Todd or your RSD would reach out to you directly to give you that lead. So those are the 2 avenues that they can come in through.
In this section, we've put together some more resources to kind of help you focus on personal and professional growth. We have a variety of books. They cover a broad spectrum of business-related topics. And then for our on-the-go folks, we have a list of podcasts. The first set here is based on more business topics in general. And then the next page lists some industry-specific podcasts. And then some more resources we have available, our workbooks. And I'd like to review our poll results here. So do you have copies of the 2 physical workbooks from 21 and 22? Looks like we're pretty split there. And those are all available for download digitally. Second question, which of the digital workbook editions have you downloaded? It looks like about half have downloaded each version. So we'd love to see those numbers all increase after this today. And which have you used? Looks like we're at about half with those as well. So you'll all have the links to access those downloads in the chat. So we would love to see those increase. Our RSDs are also a wealth of industry knowledge and a great resource for your business. I won't mention our Facebook group since Jaymie already did. Moving on to Canva. For those of you making graphics on social media, this is an awesome website. I use it every day. They have a variety of templates and design ideas to help get you started. And we linked to a tutorial if you need help using the program. Lastly, AI. This is a buzzword we've all been hearing throughout the last few years. This section just talks about how AI can be an excellent tool to supplement your efforts, but make sure you're checking its work.
Yes, and then networking. always a topic that we need to talk more about, right? We mentioned it earlier with some of the sales goals, that maybe networking is what you want to set a goal for. Maybe you're wanting to increase the events that you go to or the referral sources that you have in the year to come. We don't do a lot of math on the sales or marketing side of things, but we do want you to pay attention to the referral math, right? So depending on how many sources that you have that are giving you referrals, you can, work out for yourself if they're each giving you 3 leads a year, then that breaks down to how many leads are you going to get per month? How many are you going to get per week? And is that enough to sustain you, or should you try to work on more referral sources? Generally, the answer is yes, just cheat codes there. So the first step in this 3-step networking plan is going to be to figure out who you should network with. So to really hone in and target who it is that you want to reach out to. And this section is going to focus on which realtors in your area make sense. And then what do you do after you know who you want to reach out to? How are you going to get their attention and get them to start giving you leads? And then finally, follow up. This was a huge topic at our sales training summit. We had sessions devoted just to follow up. It's super important that you are following up with people to figure out, did you have questions for me? Did you understand your estimate? If you have other estimates, was mine apples to apples? Those kind of things. Follow up is just you're not going to capture the business unless you're following up and checking to make sure that the people have what they need to make the informed decision. We do have some resources in here, a real estate toolkit, if you're interested in downloading that to find out some more about strengthening relationships with realtors in your area. And then Cameron Eversole, who is on the call, I believe I saw his name. Hi, Cam. He graciously agreed to be in a video for us where he talks about his success in networking and what that means to him. So we encourage you to get in here. You just click on the link and the video will start playing for you too.
And finally, our last section. If you're not sure how your agency is doing when it comes to digital marketing, this is a great section to spend some time on. We consulted some marketing experts on tips for selecting a marketing firm. And then we also have some videos of agents who share their own experiences working with the digital marketing firm. So I would encourage you to give those a watch. And that's all we got on the workbook.
Yeah, if you have any questions for us, feel free to type them in the chat. I'm also going to launch another poll here, so make sure you look at that and give us your answers.
All right. Well, thank you, Jaymie and Madi. Appreciate that. So what I got from all of this is that the Sales and Marketing Workbook is a great resource for everyone to have. So what I would ask of you guys is to, once we get off the call, review the Sales and Marketing Workbook and do a promotional video. So upcoming events. Next week, we've talked about that 15 times already. We'll be in Las Vegas at the Vanline Summit and Awards Gala. And this is where we'll announce the Agent of the Year for both brands, the Driver of the Year for both brands, and top salesperson, national accounts, and top salesperson in COD. So if you have not registered, then you're not coming. So, but the good thing is, what we'll do is we'll make we have a link which will share all the activities that we've had there. That way you can see it and see what you missed out on this year, and that way you'll sign up for next year. So do we have any other questions here that we need to address? No questions. So shout out to all of our new agents, and thank all of you for taking the time out, and we appreciate all that you do. And on behalf of myself and the Van Line and everybody else involved in this production, have a great day, and we'll see you next month.